what the hell, Phillies? You lose yesterday in a game that Aaron Nola had a few slip-ups, let's just say that. You had a situation yesterday where you had a couple of fielding blunders, most notably Matt Vierling missing a cutoff man, leading to yet another run scoring in the ballgame yesterday during Aaron Nola's really tough inning that fell in the, if I recall correctly, it was the fifth inning that things started to fall off for Aaron Nola, allowing 3 runs in that inning, and he certainly didn't look like he was missing his spots. It looked like he was hitting the spots that JT Realmuto was putting his mid at, and the St. Louis Cardinals were just able to belt the baseball into the gaps and find the holes in yesterday's ball game to the tune of a 6-1 loss. The bottom line, the overall thing here is that the Phillies had a great opportunity to pick up some big, huge games on the St. Louis Cardinals, and things started off well in this series with them winning the first 2 games in this series, including Kyle Gibson getting revenge for his awful performance in his previous start against the Cardinals. He gets revenge. Next thing you know, the Phillies are up 2 games on the Cardinals in the wild card standings. Only in the second 2 games of this series, the last 2 games of this series, to give those 2 games back to St. Louis. And doing so in games where your offense goes silent. Rhys Hoskins, whatever that was in the first inning, Mikolas, I believe. Mikolas is how you say the pitcher's name. I'm messing that up. All I know is in the Arizona Fall League, the guy ate a lizard. That's something I found when I was trying to figure out the proper pronunciation of his name. But anyway, other than that, he has a little disagreement on Rhys Hoskins calling time, and Rhys Hoskins belts a home run in that at bat after the two exchange death stares at one another. Rhys Hoskins doesn't have much of a bat flip as much as a bat throw. It was closer to the bat spike that we talked about with Garrett Stubbs a few weeks back. But Rhys Hoskins belts a home run well over the left field wall into the upper deck in St. Louis, and things start out well for the Phillies, but okay, maybe this is the jump start they need to get the offense going again. Not the case. Derek Hall got robbed by a tremendous catch in center field later in the ball game, and you just weren't able to cross any more runs across the plate as the game went on. When Aaron Nola takes the mound, I know he can struggle. I know he will be very consistent and then get shelled a little bit and then be consistent again. That has kind of been, even in his good years, his MO. Yesterday was an example of him just not guessing right and hitters guessing right. It was not his day yesterday for a number of reasons, like I said. And one of them, I thought the defense could have been better behind him. Offense certainly could have given him a little bit of breathing room in this ballgame, but it just wasn't the case. And when things start to fall apart, as they did in that third inning, and then later Corey Dickerson comes back to bite the Phillies yet again on a play that another defensive blunder, the head-on play, the head-on camera angle, the first camera angle of Nick Castellanos going up to save that home run from Corey Dickerson to bring it back into the ballpark looked like it was maybe missed by a couple of feet by Nick Castellanos. It was belted beyond the wall more than a couple of feet, hence out of the reach of Nick Castellanos. But then the side angle of that made it look like Nick Castellanos just mistimed that ball. That's when you miss a guy like Bryce Harper in the field, and you've been missing him all season in the field. And you look at Nick Castellanos trying to patrol right field for the Phillies, and it certainly doesn't look like it's going well, whether it's him not being able to catch up the balls that he lets leak into the gap, whether that be instances where he just can't get after baseballs and run them down, whatever it is, or balls hit into the corner. He is a liability in the field, and we all know his arm is nothing special either. So when you see him trying to track down a fly ball that's barely over the wall and he can't bring it back, especially with his frame, you have even more of concern. You have even more of a reminder as to why he is a defensive liability. And it also reminds you of all the stuff you talked about going into the season about how guys like Kyle Schwarber, who, by the way, came up with a diving catch, a great diving catch in game 2 of this series. We talked about how you're going to have to basically beat up on teams offensively speaking, because defensively you weren't going to be anything worth bragging about. Well, I definitely find that Nick Castellanos reminds us of that a lot more than Kyle Schwarber does, that's for sure. And it only makes me long for the return of Bryce Harper, which hopefully will be in the field when he returns in September, not just him as a designated hitter. So that's what I'll be keeping my fingers crossed, but we don't need any more reminders, especially in a series like this that was so pivotal to the rest of the season and so pivotal on how you feel about this baseball team going into the All-Star break. because now you got Toronto, and then you got the Marlins. So just not the Phillies' day yesterday for a whole, like I said, multitude of reasons. The thing that is the most mind-numbing part about it is that you had a great opportunity to really put the St. Louis Cardinals, give some distance between you and the St. Louis Cardinals in those wild card standings going into the All-Star break, and you failed to take advantage of that opportunity, especially after grabbing the first 2 games of the series.